Okay, so we have chapter 14 today, and then on Thursday, your assignments will be due, right? And then you're going to have Thanksgiving holidays for 1 week, and we meet after Thanksgiving with the review. Okay, sounds good? Okay, and now, chapter 14 is about brain, okay, and SNS. So remember what is SNS mean? Somatic nervous system. What is somatic nervous system? Voluntary action and conscious sensation, right? This is a type of nervous system. It is based on function that sends conscious sensation and order the voluntary action. Okay, that's the SNS, somatic nervous system. The opposite of somatic nervous system is ANS, autonomic nervous system. Sense unconscious sensation and order involuntary action. Okay, now, for the brains, we have learned a little bit in the lab. Okay, in the lab. So I bring somebody's brain over here. Okay. Okay, so we see this, the brains, how it look like. Okay, it has four main parts. You still remember? Four main parts. What you call the biggest part of the brain? The biggest part of the brain over here. Cerebrum. Okay, cerebrum. Okay. Cerebrum. Okay. And this cerebrum, you see, consists of hill and valley. Hill, belly. Okay? Hill, valley. Okay? What do you call the hill? Yes. It should look like that. Okay? The hill is called gyrus, and the valley is called sulcus. Okay, it consists of gyrus and sulcus. Okay? There are many gyri, if it is more than one, and there are many sulci or sulci. Okay, now, the brain, the cerebrum, also divided into two, what we call the hemispheres. Okay? The hemisphere, which is left and right. And this is divided by deeper sulcus. The deeper sulcus is called fissurae. So if this is from the front, then you see this. This is left brain and this is the right brain. It's divided by this deeper sulcus. It has special name. It's called the fissurae. Okay. Now, general rule. The right brain will control your, which one? Left side of your body. Sensing from the left side and also order the left side of your body. Action on the left side of your body. The right brain will control the left side of your body. Sensing from the left and also order action on the left side of right side of your body, if it is left brain. That's the general rule or the general action of the brain. Okay, now, the cerebrum, if you see, there is a sulcus that is in the center that divide the front part and the back part. Okay, what do you call the sulcus that divide the front and the back? let's say this is back, this is front. Okay, the sulcus here a little bit deeper is called central sulcus. You get this one first? Central sulcus. This central sulcus then will divide the front part over here and the back part. Therefore, the cerebrums will be divided into what we call the lobes. Lobes, okay? How many lobes in cerebrum? 4, okay? 4 lobes. It has 4 lobes. The front one over here is called the frontal lobes. Okay? And the back one will have 3 other lobes. Behind the central sulcus, you will have 3 other lobes. If it is on the top over here, what you call that lobes? Parietal lobes. Okay? If it is on the back over here, really on the back, it's called the occipital lobes. Okay? And you also have on the side, this the temporal lobe. Okay? It also has sulcus a little bit deeper. It's called the lateral sulcus. Lateral sulcus. Okay? You follow this one first? Now, second general rule, right, for this brain. The front part of the brain will control action. So this one, action. When you dance, when you talk, you do action, it is controlled by the frontal lobes. You follow this? Now, the back, all of them will control what? All the back over here will control action, and then what is the opposite of action? Remember the 3 functions of nervous system, right? The first one is sense, right? Sense. Second, integrations. And number 3 is motor or action. Okay? Now, the front part is action, then the back part will be the sensing. So all this part is for sensations. Okay? So most of the 3 other lobes over here, they are used for sensation, sensing. The front one used for actions. Get this one? Now, there are many sensations. Okay? Look at this. There is a central sulcus over here. Now, before we go to this, let's say for sensations of vision, when you see, it is going to be processed in a very big part of the brain. What you call that lobes that control, sense your vision. All the occipital lobe over here for the sensations of vision. Sensing the vision, process the vision. It's really big part of the brain because vision is really important for survival. Animals, for example, in the wild that do not have vision, mostly they will what? They will die, whether eaten by the predator or boom, going to the cliff. Right? But for human is actually the same thing, but because we are taking care of one another, usually blind people will be taking care with their family, right? But actually, they kind of have a limitation for their life. That's the reason why, again, that vision is controlled by a big part of the brain. The whole occipital lobe is used for vision. Are you with me? Now, how about hearing? Can you hear me? Where do you think it's going to be? A part of the temporal lobe, not all of them. There is a part of the temporal lobe that's used for processing the hearing and also balance. Okay, so temporal lobe, hearing, and balance. Okay. How about taste? Taste is a temporal and also part of the parietals a little bit. Okay, there is a kind of mixed area for taste. Okay, taste. The same thing with the smell. Mostly temporal part of the lobes will use for processing the smell. See that one? All for what? On the back part, sensation. Now, how about sensation that coming from our skin? Where it's gonna be processed? There is special gyrus. Okay, look at this one. This is back part. This is the front part, and this is the back part, right? And this is the central sulcus. And then right behind the central sulcus, you see that long gyrus. That long gyrus is called the post-central gyrus. What does that mean? The gyrus that located on the back. Post means the back. On the back of the central sulcus. And this is the one that we'll use for controlling scents that go to our skin or coming from our skin. Get it? So for sensation, I'm gonna put here, this is called the post-central gyrus. This is the one that is used for sensations from the skin of our body. It's all will be sensing or processed by the area is called the post-central gyrus. And there is a map for this. Like for example, the top one may be sensing around the face and then going down for the body and then the hand and etc. Again, I forgot to put the chapter 4 on the canvas, but after I put it today, you should be able to see that map. We're going to also show it again on Thursday. I want to show you the map of where part of the skin actually control or sense by this post-central gyrus. You got this one. Now, there is another gyrus over here. Remember, front part for what? Action, right? There is another gyrus over here that is really important. And this gyrus is going to be called what? What is the opposite of post? Pre. It's called the pre-central gyrus. Okay. So remember, action. It means that this pre-central gyrus will order the voluntary muscles of our body. Okay? And again, it's going to be the same mapping. So it's going to be the front part over here. This is post-central gyrus. And this one will be pre-central gyrus. Location is going to be the same. Let's say this is over here on the top. We're going to be muscle for your face. On this is muscle of your back, your body. This is for the hand, for example. For your arms. This is over here for the legs, for example. It's going to be the same. Sensing the leg, ordering the muscle of the leg, for example. Right? So that's the two really important gyrus of the brain, of the cerebrum. It's called the post-central gyrus for sensing sensation from the skin of our body, And then pre-central gyrus, this is the one that order our skeletal muscle. Get it? Okay. You have questions so far? Does the cerebrum, again, it has 4 lobes. And already discussed the function over there, right? Now, what is the second part of the brain? Cerebellum. I'm gonna erase this. Okay. So behind this, there is a part, it's called the cerebellum. 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 Okay, which is this 2. It also have 2 hemispheres. So what is the function of this? This is the one that control our posture. Our posture will be controlled by this cerebellum. And also, this is the one that controls skills, movement. If we have skill, usually controlled by the cerebellum. Now, someone that have disease like syphilis, have you heard about syphilis? What does syphilis do? It's actually blocking the sensation and the order that coming from the cerebellum. What happened with people with syphilis, if it is level 3, they usually walk like a drunken master. Okay, because what? Because the cerebellum cannot control their posture, their balance. You get one? So that's the function of the cerebellum. Okay, syphilis is caused by bacteria. It's called the Treponema pallidum. It is contagious, transferable, sexual transferable disease. Okay, what is number 3? The middle part over here. It's called the diencephalon. And this diencephalon has 3 parts. It has 3 parts. On the back, there are small part of the diencephalon that produce hormone is called the melatonin. What do you call that part? Epithalamus. Sometimes it has name. Also, different name is called the pineal gland. Okay, it is on the top, on the roof, on the back. And then the biggest part, this one over here, is called the thalamus. And thalamus function is for sorting information that coming from your skin sensation. Let's say somebody touch you, it will go to this thalamus first before go where? Which part of the brain over here that will process sensation from the skin? Postcentral gyrus. Good job. So remember that. It will be in the exam. I was telling you. So before going to the postcentral gyrus, that sensation will go to the thalamus first. Thalamus will sort the information. Okay? So that's the function of thalamus. Sorting sensation coming from the skin before going to the postcentral gyrus. What is the last one? Hypothalamus, which is over here, is this part. This hypothalamus will be connected to master gland, our master gland, which is pituitary gland. So we have pituitary gland, which is called the master gland. So this one over here is hypothalamus. Now, what is the function of hypothalamus? Actually controlling this master's gland. Master glands produce 9 hormones that really important for us, like growth hormone, for example, is produced by this pituitary gland. Your oxytocin, many hormone is produced by pituitary gland. We're going to talk about hormonal system in the second part of our course, Anatomy 2. right? But right now, just for your information, just for your knowledge, the hypothalamus control our hormone. So hypothalamus control hormone, control endocrine gland. Okay, that's the function of hypothalamus. Control the hormonal system. Hey, you get this one? Last part. Brainstem. Brainstem. That consists also 3 parts. It consists of 3 parts. Okay. Let's say this is brainstem. From here. Then you have this part over here. The top part is called the midbrain. Okay. So the midbrain usually point connection between the brainstem with the higher brains on the top. And also there is a respiration over here, respiratory control. Part of the respiration, especially if we have deep breathing, will be controlled by this midbrain. Get it? What is the second part over here? The belly part is pons. Okay, this is also make connection between the lower part to the higher part. And this very important one is actually the last one over here. It's called the medulla oblongata. Okay, medulla oblongata. And over here, we have a very important functions that actually controlled by this medulla oblongata. This is going to be involuntary control. We don't realize it because it's involuntary control. Like for example, what? This is for cardiovascular. Our heart beating controlled by the medulla oblongata. CV center over here. Respiration. Most of the respiration will be controlled here. Your autonomic respiration. Your sneezing, coughing. Most of the reflex system will be controlled by this medulla oblongata. So this action over here, it doesn't have to be controlled by the brain, the cerebrum. Therefore, you are good because most of your autonomic control is actually done by the lower brain. You don't have to think. You can imagine if you have to think for everything. Okay, I have to beat my heart. What is the normal beating of the heart? 68. What? Maybe 70. Okay, 70, around 70 beats per minute. You don't have to count it. It's just do it by yourself. It's just, how much is your breathing actually? How many seconds you breathe in? How many seconds you breathe out? Actually, 2 seconds breathe in, 3 seconds breathe out. So 2 seconds inhale, 3 seconds exhale. You don't have to think. Okay, I have to. Okay, no, already 2 seconds. I have to breathe out. No, 3 seconds. You don't have to think about that because what? All controlled by the lower part of your brain, which is the medulla oblongata. This is going to be all autonomic control. Only here that control the somatic. Okay? So this part over here, okay, the cerebrum, which is the cortex, this is the one that control SNS. Okay, and this part over here, especially hypothalamus and brainstem, this is the one that control the ANS. You follow that? So ANS controlled by brainstem and part of the hypothalamus. The SNS controlled by your higher brain. It's called the higher brain, which is the cerebral cortex or cerebrum. Okay, do you have question for this? This is going to be basic information for the next discussion, which is SNS, somatic nervous system. I'm going to erase this. Okay. Okay, again, this is brain. Let's say this is brain. And you have, let's say, spinal cord. Okay? Now, this is how actually your body works, especially for the SNS over here. We're going to talk about somatic nervous system first. Okay? What is the three functions of nervous system? Again, over and over. If you still forget it in the exam, it's not my fault. Okay, that's your bad. Okay, what is the first one? Sense, sensory, sensation function. What is the second one? Integration, which is process, including learning over here. Memory is over here. Right? What is the last one? Motor functions. Okay, that's the three functions. Now, in order to perform these three functions, the nervous system need need 5 components. They need 5 components. Okay, so the first component I'm gonna use blue color. Then you know what components gonna be. Gonna be from this. I'm gonna change this. Okay, sense, and this one using red. Motor action. Okay, now the first component will be done by the first function over here, sensation, which is start with this. The one that receives the stimulus. What you call that? Receptor. Yeah, receptor. That's going to be the first component. This is the first component. Okay? And then we're going to, let's say I'm going to cut this. Okay? And then make cross sections of cross sections of the spinal cord. So when it is cut and you see the cross section of spinal cord will be look like this. Okay, the middle one over here will be gray in color. It's called the gray matter. Okay, and then the other side, lateral, the top, at the bottom, all gonna be white. Therefore, it's called the white matter. Why it is gray in color? Because the cell body of the neurons will be located in the gray area over here. Okay. Now it's going to be opposite with the brain. Okay. The gray area or the gray matter will be on the side. This is gray matters, or also called as a cortex. Okay. Again, what is gray matter mean? Location for cell body of neurons. Now, what is the function of cell body of neuron? Cell body for, remember, neuron have 3 parts: dendrite to receive stimulus, cell body process, action, carry. So it means that if it is gray, that's process. Okay, processing area. The same thing with this also. The middle part will be the processing area because where this is the cell body located. So this is the spinal cord. You follow this? Now, the spinal cord will be look like this. Okay. Okay, this one? Now, what do you call the organs that out from brain or from the spinal cord? What you call the organ that out from the brain or from spinal cord? Cranial nerve or spinal nerve. It's just called nerve. What? So nerve. So this is actually nerve. You with me first? Nerve. Now you have all three parts of the nervous system of the brain, spinal cord, and nerve. Look at this. Okay. The nerve is connected to, if it is spinal cord, connected to the spinal cord into two area. Got it? Two area. It's called root. It's root. So this one is in dorsal area. Therefore, this one is called the dorsal root, right? Which is the connection for the nerve on the dorsal part of the spinal cord. And what do you call this gonna be? You have dorsal root, then the other side will be, what is the opposite of dorsal? Ventral. Ventral root. You follow this one first. So this is the structure of our nervous system. Right? Now, look at this. Receptor is receive stimulus. Get it? The receptor receive the stimulus. Then the stimulus has to be carried or sent into the CNS, into the spinal cord, and into the brain. In order to carry it, they need the second component. What do you call the neuron that carries sense?
Sensory neuron.
What do you call the neuron that carries sense? Sensory neuron. Sensory neuron will be look like this. Remember, last time, based on the shape, there are three types of neuron, right? If the neuron look like this, what you call that neuron? Based on the shape, only one have one line. Unipolar. This is unipolar. Are you with me? If it is look like this, it has two poles. This is bipolar neuron. Right? If it is look like this is the multipolar neuron. You got this one? Now we actually gonna put that shape in this structure. So most of the sensory neurons, they are unipolar. Therefore, we're gonna have this dendrite over here, attach or give or get the information from the receptor, and then it will carry that information using this axon, boom, 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 and then go inside. Over here, the nucleus is actually located in this dorsal root. The cell body of the sensory neuron is actually located in the dorsal root. Get this one? And then the rest of the axon then enter into the spinal cord. Carry that sensation. Now what you call this blue? This is the second components of nervous system. After receptor, then sensation will be carried by this neuron. What do you call that neuron again? Sensory neuron. What is the shape? Unipolar. Try to explain it slowly. So whenever you get it, it will be with you. Believe me, forever. So this is how our body works. This is how our nervous system works. So stimulus go to the receptor, and then it's carried by the sensory neuron. It will be carried into this spinal cord. Then in the spinal cord, you have another neurons. What do you call all the neurons that's located in the spinal cord, and in the brain?
Spinal
Neurons. Remember, there are 3 types of neuron. Yes, it's called the interneuron. Interneuron. Remember, sensory neuron, interneuron, and motor neuron. Right? Therefore, I put different color over here. Now, the interneurons then will take that information, okay, and then carry it. Look at what happened over here. When the interneuron carry that information, it will cross the spinal cord. If it is coming from the right, then what happened is go to the left. Go to the left, and then here. Okay? So it's going to be on the left side of the brain, but the sensation is actually on the right side of your body. You follow this? Okay? It's go to, what do you call part of the diencephalon that's sorting sensation information? What is this one? Remember, diencephalon has 3 parts. What? Epithalamus, thalamus, and hypothalamus. Which one that's sorting information? The thalamus. So this is thalamus. Okay? So the information will be carried into the thalamus first. It's going to be on the left side because it's coming from the right side of the body. Are you follow this? First? Okay? Okay, now what happened next? I put this one black color. So this one is actually the third component. What is the name? Interneuron. You with me? And then it will carry it into this. Let's say I'm going to put one gyrus over here. Over here. There's another neuron. This is also going to be number 3, another interneuron. Are you with me? Now, what do you call this gyrus over here? What is the name of the gyrus that actually receive the sensation from your skin? Yes, wonderful. So this one is the post-central gyrus. So the interneuron in the post-central gyrus then will process that information, and what they give you what we call this black one word. Okay. So this one, the neuron in the post-central gyrus then give you what we call perceptions. You follow this? You have sensation over here. Sensation, when it is come to the brain, is become what? Perception. What is perception mean? Perception mean is precise identifications of the stimulus. Where is this located? What type of stimulus is this? Whether it's touching, pain, or temperature. Get it? So this perception is done by this post-central gyrus. Remember, we're talking about SNS, right? Somatic nervous system. This perception over here gonna be conscious or unconscious? Conscious. Remember, this is SNS. You're gonna know. You will be able to identify what is this, where is it. Okay, you guys want? Okay, so this is the 3 parts so far, right? Receptor, and then it's going to be one way, carried by this, what you call this blue line, sensory neurons, and then go to the black one, interneuron. You have to be sorting first in this thalamus. Then there is another neuron, also black. There's another interneuron that will process that information and give you the perception. You and me? Okay. Now, after you get that perception, oh, my wife touched me. Okay. Now, what do you have to do? You react for that one. The react will be function of this motor over here. However, The order has to come from this one first. Now, what you call the gyrus that will order your skeletal muscle to move. Let's say I'm gonna put it over here, right? It's gonna be, if it is ordering the right side, then it's gonna be on the left brain. Are you with me? So this gyrus over here is gonna be called the precentral gyrus. Okay, and the neuron over here, boom. You with me? And then long neuron all the way over here, going to the, still on the left side, left side, left side, left side, left side. Suddenly, boom, cross to the right side. You with me? Go to the right side and then stop here. You with me? Okay. Now this is still number 3, what? Which is still what? Interneuron. But no, this is the one carry order. This one carry sensation. Are you with me? Okay. Now over here, there will be another neuron, red color neuron. The cell body is located inside the spinal cord. And then the axons will be boom, using the ventral root, going here, boom, 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 going here. And then you have, this is going to be number 4. What you call it? Motor neuron. Okay. And then number 5 will be here. What you call that? Effector, but for the SNS, only one effector, skeletal muscle. You follow this? Okay. Now count how many neurons needed for sensation. How many neurons needed for sensation until you receive the perception? How many neurons going up actually? 3 sensory neuron, and then 1 neurons go to the thalamus, and the other neurons go to the postcentral gyrus. Okay, so in the textbook, this sensory neuron is also known as first order neuron. This is first order neuron. Okay, and then the second neuron, the first interneuron that going to the thalamus, is going to be called as second order neuron. You got this one? Okay. And the neurons that go from the thalamus to the postcentral gyrus is going to be called the third order neuron. You follow this? So for sensations, they require 3 neurons. Sensory neuron, now it is act as a first order neuron. The first interneuron from the spinal cord to the thalamus, it is called the second order neuron. And the third neuron, which is interneuron that go from thalamus to the postcentral gyrus, is called the third order neuron. That's for sensation. 3 neurons. You follow this? Now, this is SNS. Okay? ANS, we're going to see that later. Okay? Now, for the action, for the motor function, how many neurons actually needed? Only 2. Sensation need 3, but action only need 2 neurons. What is the first neuron over here? The one that coming from precentral gyrus to the spinal cord. This one is called the upper neuron. Upper neuron. Okay, this is up going down. Okay, are you with me? The red one over here, which the motor neuron now is become, what is the opposite of upper? Lower. Lower neuron. You follow this? This is how our nervous system, especially the SNS, control our body or perform their action. There are 5 components. The first one is called the receptor. The second one is called the sensory neuron. What is the third one called? Interneuron. All of them is called the interneuron. What is the fourth one is called? Motor neuron. What is the last one? Effector. If it is SNS, the effector will be only skeletal muscle. I'm telling you again and again, only skeletal muscle. Okay? If it is in the exam and you still miss it again, I will cry. What is the only effector for SNS? Skeletal muscle. The only effector that perform their action voluntarily. Okay. Do you have questions for this one? No. Okay. Now we still have. Now we're gonna discuss this. The sensory function. The sensory function. So sensory functions will be done by this. By these two components. You see that one? Remember we have 5 components? 2 of them will perform the sensory function. What is that? Receptor and the sensory neuron. Are you with me? Now, how about the integration function? Will be done all by the black one over here. What do you call the black one? The interneuron. The neurons in the CNS. And the motor function will be done by the last 2 components, which is this. What is that? Motor neuron and the effector. Look at this. When I make the nerve over here, I'm showing you that the nerve is actually carry both neuron, sensory neuron and motor neuron. Majority of nerve will carry a lot of sensory neurons and a lot of motor neuron in one bundle. What? So it's bundle, it has a lot of cable. That cable consists of sensory neuron and also motor neuron in one nerve. Get it? Because it's going to be important later when we talk about the cranial nerve. Right? And this nerve is called the mixed nerve. Mixed nerve. It means that it's carry both sensory and motor neurons. Okay, now we go back here. The sensory function, which is receptor and sensory neuron. Okay, so we're going to talk about receptor now. I'm going to erase this. Okay. Receptor. Okay. For the SNS, for the SNS receptors, there will be 2 types. 2 types. Okay? Remember SNS, if it is, remember this is sensation, okay? So receptor is part of the sensation. What type of sensation gonna be for SNS? Conscious or unconscious? Conscious, right? Conscious. Therefore, this receptor will be conscious receptor. Right? The first receptor is called the general somatic receptor. Okay? General somatic receptor. This is receptor, somatic receptor that's located under the skin. So we have a lot of receptor under the skin. And all of them is called the general receptor. Okay? The second one, if you have general, that's what we have. What is the opposite of general? Special. Okay? Special receptor. Special receptor will always SNS, will always conscious. Okay? And the special receptor, there are 5. And we learn it in the In the lab, we have learned 3 of them. Spatial receptor. What is the first one? What we learned is vision last time, right? In the lab. What is the second one? Hearing. What is the next one? Balance. Right? Usually hearing and balance go together because it's the same organ.
Gas station.
Gas station. What is gas station?
I don't know.
Gas station is taste. Right? Taste. Right? And the last one is smell or olfaction. Right? So vision, hearing, balance, taste, and smell, they're all somatic receptor. It's called the spatial receptor. And we already talked about the location of them, right? Locations where these 5 spatial receptor will be processed. Where the vision will be processed? Occipital lobe, the cortex of the hearing and balance, temporal. Taste, smell, mostly temporal, but also part parietal using that process. Now, how about this? Where the receptor under the skin will be processed? The postcentral gyrus. Postcentral gyrus. Okay. Got this one? Okay. That's based on the type for the somatic nervous system, general and spatial receptor. Okay. Now, based on shape. So we're talking this over here. Okay. So this one's gonna be general, somatic, and then spatial receptor. That's for the SNS. Okay. Now, based on receptor, based on shape or structure. Okay, there are 3 types. Okay, there are 3 types. First one, here. I will not put anything over here. Here. What is this actually? Can you see?
Unicolor.
Yeah, what neuron is this?
Sensory.
The sensory neuron. You got this one? Sensory neuron. No, sometimes the receptor itself is actually part of the sensory neuron, which is the dendrite. You see that one? This is actually the receptor. There is no other cell, but the dendrite of the sensory neuron itself. If it is like this, okay, this receptor is called the naked. Okay, naked receptor. Okay, get it? Okay, the second one is gonna be the same like this, which is part of the sensory neuron, which is the dendrite. Again, dendrite. Okay, but this dendrite is covered. There is a membrane that protects it. There is a capsule. Okay, so there's a capsule. So if it is look like this, then this receptor is called the encapsulated receptor. Okay, you get this one? The last one is gonna be look like this. Which is this is sensory neuron, but it has spatial cell. Spatial cell that receive the stimulus. So this stimulus coming from this, and this stimulus coming from go to this spatial cell. Therefore, this one is called a spatial cell receptor. Okay? And this is actually the receptor of the spatial senses over here. So vision, they have spatial receptor. Smell, they have spatial cell for receiving the stimulus. Therefore, it's called a spatial cell receptor. They have additional cell. Okay? Can you distinguish these three different type of receptor based on the shape, right? The first one is a part of the sensory neuron, which is the dendrite, but there is nothing that cover it is called the naked or bare, right? Bare. Okay, and then the second one, there is something that cover it. It's called the encapsulated. We're gonna see I'm gonna put you the picture, or when I put the PowerPoint in the canvas, you can see that picture later. Okay, and then spatial receptor is mean that it has additional cell that function as receptor plus then the sensory neurons. Okay, you with me? That's based on what? Based on the shape. I'm gonna erase this. Okay. Second, based on location. Based on location, where the receptors located. Okay. There are also three types. Okay, based on location. If it is located near to our surface area, that receptor is called the exteroreceptor. Exteroreceptor. Okay. Forget to give you example over here. The neck receptor example is pain receptor, touch receptor. They look like this. And then for the one encapsulated example is the vibration, pressure. Okay, pressure receptor, they have encapsulated nerve ending. Okay, or encapsulated receptor. And of course, for the spatial receptor, you have that 5. What is that? Vision, smell, olfaction, balance, and hearing. Okay, exteroreceptor. It means that it's located close to our surface area. Example, like your hearing receptor is spatial, but also it is located close to your surface, right? They are exteroreceptor. You with me? Taste on the tongue, right? It is next to the surface of your body, right? It is also exteroreceptor. So they can be in both in here at the same time. It is also exteroreceptor. Are you with me? All right. The second one is called the interoreceptor or interoceptor. This is on the inside organs. So receptor on the heart, on the lungs, on the kidney, stomach, liver. They're all interoceptor. Okay? And mostly this is the one that's going to be unconscious. This is actually part of the ANS. Okay? The interoceptor. The last one is called the proprioceptor. This is for balance. Balance. Okay. Which is, they are mostly located in the joint and muscle. So muscles, joint, they have special name. It's called the proprioceptor. But based on location, actually, they are actually exteroceptor. You guys want? They are actually exteroceptor, but they just want to be, make you confused. They're adding one more. For balance, movement, they have special receptor. It's called the proprioceptor. You follow this? Okay. That based on location. Okay. Now, I'm going to put in the middle based on stimulus. based on stimulus. Based on stimulus. Okay, type of stimulus. First, if the stimulus is mechanical, like touching, vibration, pressure, all of them is called a mechanoreceptor. What is an example of mechanoreceptor? Your hearing is a vibration. Touch, that's mechano, right? Pressure, that's a mechanoreceptor. Location, maybe they are exteroceptor, right? And shape, the touch is bare, dendrite, or naked. So you have to be able to make that connection, especially in the exam. Maybe it's confusing you, but just look what is the question asking you. If it is based on stimulus, or based on the location, or based on the shape. Sometimes the same receptor will have different classification based on this different type. Okay? Second, if it is chemicals, if the stimulus is chemical, then the receptor is called a chemoreceptor. Example, when you taste the food, what actually you tasting? What is sweet? Is sugar. What is sugar? Chemical. What? Salty. What is salty? Chemical. So your taste receptor is actually based on the stimulus, it is chemoreceptor. But if based on location, let's say taste receptor, based on location, what is that? Exteroceptor. You with me? Based on the shape, your taste receptor will be spatial cell receptor. You follow this? I might put like a taste. Based on the shape, what is this? Oh, this is spatial. Based on stimulus, chemo. Based on location, extero. You follow this? Okay. Next, there is receptor pain is called the nociceptor. This is pain receptor. Okay, pain receptor. Okay, so based on the stimulus, if it is pain, it's called the nociceptor. Is nociceptor based on the shape? Which one is gonna be? Naked. Based on location, under the skin, exteroceptor. Can you follow this? Okay. 4. The one that sends for temperature, whether heat, hot, or cold. What does temperature mean? What the equipment that you use for measuring temperature? Thermo. It's going to be thermo. Right? Thermo, not thermometer, but thermoreceptor. You have thermometers actually in your under your skin. It's called a thermoreceptor. It's a sensing for whether hot or cold. Number 5, we have mechano, chemo, noci, thermo. Where's the other one? See, I forgot the other. Huh? Voltage. Voltage is a mechanical too. Chemical, we already have chemo, noci, thermo, noci, mechano. Photo. The photo. Photo receptor. What is photo? Light. Receptor for light. And this photoreceptor only one place. Where is that? Which part of the eyes? Which of the eyes? You know, eyes have 3 main layers. Fibrous tunic, vascular tunic, and the last one is called the nervous tunic. It's also known as retina. It's only located in this retina. That's for photoreceptor. If it is the stimulus is light, then that receptor is called the photoreceptor. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop here. And then next, I'm gonna show you the picture, how they look like. And then we'll continue with we'll finish chapter 14 and continue with chapter 15. After that, you're gonna have the review after the holidays. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow for the one that have left, and see you on Thursday for the rest of you.
We got a little mushroom.